You
I did it! Right, do we want to restart this? No, I think we're fine.
Is it going to work?
I think we're okay.
Yes, so in this demo we're going to show you Jesse's transforming service weapon. We'll show you the different forms it transforms into, different abilities and how we use these in different ways, in different places.
Yeah, so this is the demo that we have been showing behind closed doors pretty much, but we built it to have work in progress, and you can't see the work in progress because we are on the screen. Let me just, whoop, there we go. Yeah, so we built this place, well, we didn't build this place, but we repurposed this place for demo purposes, for like a free roam kind of experience where you can have fun and explore and look for secrets. And this is, so the oldest house is broken up into different sectors, right? And this sector is the research sector, and this area is...
Central Research!
That was beautiful. And we are playing on PC right now.
We are playing it.
Yeah.
So Clay, who is this gentleman?
This handsome gentleman is Dr. Darling. He is the head of research. And as you can see, he has a lot of fun kind of educational videos sprinkled throughout his sector, where he shows you, introductions to various paranatural topics which the Bureau investigates and delves into in their research. Those are his fun assistants. They are pressing buttons.
Sometimes you gotta press buttons.
Doing soldering.
Like an omelet.
Taking readings.
I love this. Can you do like a developer's commentary of like what is going on?
Holding coffee cups.
Holding coffee cups. Yeah, this is actually a coffee cup that took years to make, I think. So that's a little behind the scenes facts.
Been told to turn up the audio for the game.
Coffee cup.
I'm gonna turn it up a tiny little bit so you can still hear us.
Careful.
There we go. That should be okay. Please shout at me in the chat if it's too loud.
Are you gonna break the TV screen?
I don't think you can break the TV
I just
screen.
wanted to do some redecorating.
First thing.
My couch now. This is my couch. Oh, that's... Excuse me, sir, would you like to sit on a comfortable couch? Let me help him. Couch.
Couch meat person. Person meat couch.
Could we have an overview of the sound of the game? Someone asks in the chat.
An overview of the sound?
Yeah. I don't understand the question, but
like how the sound works?
And also the game sound, people are saying that the game sound is low. The game sound is low for a reason. It's because you need to hear us talking over it.
You need to.
You have to. I'm going to turn it up when we are not talking, which should be in a little bit.
That's right.
It's really low, so alright, there we go. There you go. Alright. Is the musical score going to be ambient or fast-paced action-type music?
Ooh, hey, well guess what? You know what? I think we actually have both.
Yeah, I think we have both.
We actually have a procedural music system which changes the music speed depending on what is happening. So while we're exploring, it's a little bit more ambient and slower paced, mysterious, and then as we get into combat, it actually speeds up, changes pace depending on what they're doing.
Oh yeah?
Hold on, I just have to show the amazing destructions we have in this game. This is one couch that I can pick up, right? But you know what? You can also break it down by shooting it into multiple different pieces and pick up different parts of it. That's super cool.
That's amazing. We are going to have, actually, next week on the 23rd, we're going to do a stream with our VFX guys who made all of this happen. So like Elmedy and Jim, who have also worked on Quantum Break and are responsible for some of the absolutely crazy stuff that has happened visually in Quantum Break, are going to sit down with me and play a little bit and like wreck stuff and talk about why Sofa breaks into individual feathers that explode and stuff like that. Do powers have a cooldown or limit, Paul?
They do have a cooldown. You'll notice in the lower left there's a white bar. The white bar is currently my ability bar. So different abilities have different costs, and some abilities cost a little bit more. And that bar recharges as I'm not using my abilities.
Great. What was I gonna... people are impressed by the physics. The physics are good. Again, this is a work in progress, so if there's frame rate drops, and there might be, please don't come for us. We are working on it. This demo is from, I think, March, so the game looks better now. It looks pretty good this way, but it looks... Oh, you could have grabbed that.
I could have.
The choice not to.
Made a conscious choice.
And as the new director, Jessie will have to pay for repairing all this damage she does. So, I mean, she has to allocate the budget and the resources, the man hours to fixing everything. So this is also, you know, something that's going to be coming back to bite her later on.
So when we say that the director's job is never done and that once you finish the main campaign there's still going to be stuff to do, what we basically mean is there's going to be like
an accounting, like number crunching portion of the game where you just fill out paperwork.
Okay.
That's my favorite part.
Please don't. Two people watching, please don't take this seriously.
I'm also quite a sarcastic person. So,
yeah, Clay's very sarcastic.
Yeah, don't trust me.
You're not adding additional features.
Additional paperwork features.
I have it all designed out, don't worry.
Can we use the destructible environment to our advantage? Like, for example, can we break walls to drop ceilings?
You can do certain things with the environment. I don't know that we have that situation in this game, but you can grab pieces of it and use that. So like I mentioned, like the chairs that break apart, you can pick up different pieces of the chairs. We also have the ability to increase the size of objects that you can pick up. At the beginning, you can pick up smaller pieces like these chunks of concrete. And then later on, you'll be able to pick up larger things like vending machines and forklifts.
Are you going to go downstairs and pick up the vending machine in the cafeteria?
Spoilers? Are we in spoiler territory already?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Which vending machine? Yellow or...
Yellow. What does that one even vend?
Can I ask the chat? Hey chat, which vending machine? Which vending machine do you want us to pick up?
What does the other one vend?
I don't know. Is it a locker? Is it like a... It's great how we don't know this when we all work on this game. It's like, what is
this? An old-timey icebox.
I don't like the way the security camera's looking at me.
Okay, people are saying evil yellow one.
Yeah,
so, yellow.
old-timey
here we go.
icebox.
You made a moral judgment.
Oh, you can look inside.
Oh, what?
Solve the riddle.
Come on.
Rotate, yeah. Rotate. No,
What if I hold on, let me set it on this table.
Right now, open the door. No.
Come on, maybe if I...
There we go. There we go.
Okay, what's inside?
Oh, okay, this is the mystery.
Mystery.
The Viola's house is full of mysteries, as you can see.
Will there be some mysteries?
This is my vending machine.
Sandwiches, maybe? Like, you know, those like old kind of 70s...
I have to place it right here.
Sandwich dispenser.
What are the controls like at present? How do they feel? Like, I can speak. I'm going to start because I've read the questions, so I have that privilege. Like, I can speak for myself, and I can speak from what I heard from like people in playtest saying and press saying, and like other people who we had to play the game. The controls so far feel very intuitive. Like the main thing is like hold and release. Right? Am I saying that right, Paul? You want to take over?
Sure. Yeah. So one of the intents behind the design of controls that we make sure that we have really snappy and empowering feeling controls. So when you want to do something, we want to make sure that you can do it right when you want to do it. So we have pretty quick and snappy controls. Another thing is that you gain powers over time, and I wanted to make sure that you don't feel overwhelmed at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So one of the things... Hey, sir, you dropped this. Excuse me. So we wanted to make sure that we don't just give you a whole bunch of controls all at the same time, but that you kind of learn them over time. Some of the feedback that we got at PAX was a lot of really positive feedback saying, you know, wow, these controls feel great, they feel really intuitive, they feel really snappy and easy to learn. That's exactly what we were hoping for.
Nice. So, although you are hiding behind cover, this isn't a cover shooter, and we encourage people to like jump into the fray because there's no automatic health regen, and you have to, yeah, that white stuff that enemies drop, though, that like gives you health back, and it gives you other perks and benefits of things. Play, quick question. Where did the inspiration come from while making this game? There is one thing that we quote specifically.
Yeah, I mean, Annihilation, Jeff Vandermeer, the whole Southern Reach trilogy in general is full of very kind of this new weird genre that explores a lot of the, first of all, like the kind of mundane aspects of a bureaucracy that investigates these pretty much forces that you cannot understand. You know, they try their dangest, but really...
Oh, language.
They try their gosh dangest, but I mean, it's just like at some level, some of these things cannot be understood, and they're doing their best to grapple with them here, but like, you're going to see a lot of stuff here that is hard to explain in a very cool, interesting, and weird way. Twin Peaks is also a very big personal inspiration for me.
Yeah. That's a good, I feel like, oh, there's some floaty people in here as well.
Floaty people here. They're napping. They're going to be okay.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna switch to narrative chat, Skynaps. that's me on a plane.
Now that's what they're called now, Skynaps.
Skynaps.
If you would like to take part in Skynaps, purchase Control.
Go to controlgame.com.
Controlgame.com.
Skynaps out now.
I wanted to ask actually about narrative and leave Paul to can't think of a mess around. Thank you. I was like, what is that? What is the PG-13 word for mess around? Mess around. And like the thing is, like we say that New Weird is an inspiration, and we say that Annihilation is an inspiration, but like a lot of people, that's pretty inaccessible to a lot of people who don't know what those things are. So like, can you explain it a little bit more? And also, Paul, do you want to go upstairs and find one of the central research sightseeing things?
I would love to.
All right.
Yeah, so a lot of, you know, genres like science fiction, fantasy, horror, they usually in some way have a resolution or have a vehicle to really explain the concepts explored in those franchises. And New Weird is kind of more about the experience, and like, you know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So, you know, it'd be like Star Wars where you don't really get an explanation as to really why anyone is jumping around or having boards made of light. It's just kind of more about them trying to grapple with these concepts, but to a degree they're so alien to the human mind that it is just beyond access.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it's more about just finding their way through that, kind of like a human way of navigating those bizarre circumstances or situations, as opposed to, you know, like in science fiction where you always get a very clear-cut, here's how this thing works exactly. That's pretty much the top of most sci-fi franchises.
My favorite.
If you haven't read Southern Reach Trilogy,
where did it go?
Go out and read it.
Yeah, the Southern Reach Trilogy, like...
It's a good read. The movie's pretty good too, but I always like books.
The movie, like, Annihilation, the Netflix movie, is a good movie because it's in the spirit of the book. For me personally, it's not like a direct adaptation. But yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, there's a bunch of questions. Yeah, thank you for that explanation. That was really good.
That was a little roundabout.
Well, it was.
I got there in the end, I think.
Yeah. So but basically, like, the bottom line is we don't want to explain everything. We don't want to be like, so this is how the sausage gets made. We want to leave stuff open to interpretation.
Exactly.
Right?
There's open-ended questions. Buying this game is still going to be a mystery, and it's going to be kind of up to the audiences to piece together these theories, kind of like the Bureau does. Like, you know, there's these hypotheses on how these things work, but at the end of the day, they're not 100% positive. So you'll find breadcrumbs in the game that allow players to kind of make up their own theories on how all these things interconnect and behave.
Well, I feel like I'm patting my own back when I say that's really cool, but that's really cool.
It is really cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we get excited about the things we work on.
Yeah. That's why I come here every morning.
Yeah.
The Finnish morning.
American
night, as they call it.
American night.
Yeah.
Where are we now? Oh, I love this. We put that in the gameplay trailer, and I love that was at the end of the gameplay trailer. By the way, Control Remedy on YouTube has all the videos. Pick it up again.
Pick it up again, Paul.
Pick it up. I'm gonna shine it on the walls.
But that lamp's...
Oh, the lamps.
Yeah. Lamp's feeling left
My
out.
abilities are a little bit too powerful.
That little book cart righted itself, and I feel like it deserves a little round of applause. I'm like, yeah. It was tumbling, and then I just kind of was like, you know what?
Well done, bookshelf.
You what I am.
A very good bookshelf.
Bookshelf.
So where are we now? What is this place, Clay?
This is, I believe, Dr. Darling's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where one of those people who's trying their darndest to figure out all these mysteries is doing just that. And as you can see, he's made a mess of it. He's a messy worker. He thrives in chaos. And this is his attempts to understand some very classified material that I will not go into.
But what is his zodiac?
Um,
I've asked you this before. I feel like I've asked you this, and then you made it up, and then you were like, he's a Cancer, and I was like, and then you said, I don't know anything about astrology.
I think he's more of a Capricorn, because I don't know what that one is, but it sounds the neatest. Capricorn is like a fun version of a unicorn. But Capra?
Isn't Capricorn's like the goat?
No, isn't
Anyway.
Capricorn.
Goat, so like a unicorn, but a goat. A goat with a horn.
And then, because you said that there's going to be stuff, I'm sorry that I started talking about astrology, I apologize.
No, I just can't stop thinking. Goat horns.
I'll have to watch this video now.
Do a birth chart for every single major NPC in the game.
I mean, I could.
No.
I just haven't. But if that's a good use of my time, we can do it right now.
So, right, Paul, you picked up a document.
Did.
Can we look at what it is?
I believe so. So let's go to our collectibles. In here we can actually read some of the lore that you'll find in the world. We'll have different narrative items that you can explore and pick up, and they'll flesh out some of the backstory of what's really going on here in Hero of
Mm-hmm.
And this is like an altered item, and for those For those who have seen the E3 demo, if you remember, Jesse found a gentleman sitting in front of a fridge, and this document actually refers to that item.
Very panicked gentleman.
Yes.
Sitting in front of a very menacing fridge.
Yes.
Yes.
And that fridge is actually, now it's like an actual side mission in the game about solving the fridge, right?
Yes.
You can talk about that a little bit, but don't spoil it.
Okay.
No spoilers.
Spoilers, but no, there's like everything in the bureau, Jessie will encounter these situations that are, ongoing as she's, going about her own journey, and she can stop and, find a way to solve them as best she can. I mean, the fridge is a weird one. No two ways about it. It's going to be a strange one for folks, but it's a very cool, interesting side mission. And I think a lot of people are going to like it.
I've seen it.
It's really neat.
There was
fridge. Sorry, weird fridge.
Weird fridge.
I'm so excited I get to talk about weird fridges.
Can you pick up the water cooler? Cool. There was
no.
apparently not.
Good. In progress.
Progress.
We only have 30 minutes to finish playing this, but don't go to the left. We'll do that in another stream. We have to leave some secrets.
That's right.
The mess of this
I will
place.
show you the...
There are janitorial staff that's going to have to fix all this.
Yes.
And
You know what? This wasn't me.
You're
This
new.
was...
Jessie's the new boss here, and you can tell she's going to be super popular.
It's
How
because of the
she's-
hiss. If the hiss wasn't here, we wouldn't have this now.
I guess we can always blame it.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Blame it on the hiss. So Wendy of Mars in the chat is asking, will there be environmental puzzles we will need to use our abilities to solve and try, not necessarily, I can speak, and try,
Right to the face.
Oh no!
I was so interested in hearing this question that I was not doing very well at video gaming.
Well, there we are.
We're back.
We're back. We're gonna hang out in this corner a little bit while it loads and Jesse respawns.
That's right.
Yeah, so there was a question, Clay, about I need to scroll out a little bit. About will there be environmental puzzles where we will need to use our abilities? There we go, we're back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have puzzles that require Jessie to definitely think outside the box with how to solve those things. And so we've got some fun content for secret finders, people who like secrets.
So how did someone so young become the director of a secret government organization? Asks Cliff. Yeah, will that be addressed in the story, Or are we just in the hot boss dimension? I don't know what that means.
Well, there's a lot of dimensions.
Whatever that is, I'm excited for it.
No, it's part of the story, and it is addressed as to how Jesse becomes the director. Probably should want to give that away here.
I don't think
it's
so.
It's a fun part of the story.
Yeah.
And you'll see. I don't know what the hot boss dimension is. Sounds like a pretty crazy place to be, but I don't think we're in that one here. There are a lot of dimensions here. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 dungeons. Plus the house.
There was another question. If we can answer it. Can we talk about UI at all? Like customizing the UI, customizing the subtitles, colorblind mode. Is it too early to talk about that? How's that going? That's like still very much in progress, right?
Yeah, I don't think we have the details complete.
Oh no!
Oh no. I don't think we have the details completely fleshed, and we're working hard as we can to get as much as we can into the game.
Yeah.
That's, of course, our challenge, but we do want to try to get as much customization as we can.
That is the camera's automatic thingy. Fine.
These are good questions, by the way. You guys.
Yeah, these are super good questions. Keep them coming. That's why we are here. So there was a question like way earlier, Paul, about like the eureka moment in designing the gameplay. Do you have?
But I'll try to go. But we have this enemy called the healing orb, which is very concentrated hiss.
Called the hiss cluster.
Hiss cluster. There you go. That's the official name.
If you want
Design
to use the
names
last.
and narrative names, you know. We speak a common language, but it's not always the same.
The thing which heals you is what we do.
The thing that heals.
This thing to appear, but it's the big red spooky sphere that you'll see, and this enemy serves to kind of heal enemies. And so whenever that's around, you usually want to target that first because it's buffing the enemies and making them a lot harder. But once we got the compel ability, which allows you to compel enemies, and
it's called Seize now.
Seize, that's right. We changed.
Yeah, it's called the Seize ability, which you can also demonstrate if some enemies spawn around here.
Seize is a better word.
It's
pretty much my job is opening a thesaurus.
Yeah, your job is going like, no, this is what we're calling this thing now, and then everyone going like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. I go on streams to correct people.
So right now I can press X to seize this enemy. Now he's my best friend. Now he's going to go and attack these other enemies since he's on my side, which is cool because he draws their attention. And so the healing orb, when I use seize on the healing orb, it'll actually heal me instead since I pulled it over to my side. And that was kind of one of the happy coincidences of taking something that we had kind of planned for, but then making it even better. So in terms of like the aha moment, that was one of them where it just made sense, you know, it just made perfect sense to be able to seize this enemy that's buffing and the other enemies, and now it's going to buff you. But in the whole game, a lot of it was just lots of all tuning and tweaking to make all of these different systems come together. They're really nice.
I don't. What was like a? Can you pick up? Can you pick up bodies? By the way.
Can.
The animation. Oh, okay.
And also throw them.
So
Voluntary
when
yoga.
you convert enemies to your side, like when you seize them, is that for a certain time only? Is there a timer? Is there like a certain number of enemies that you can seize? How does that work? I know that like it's still
That's a really good question. So the way we balance and account for that, I'll show you an example when I seize this enemy. So his health bar gets refilled up totally, but then it will start draining slowly over time. So they can only be out for a certain amount of time. His health away. Oh, here. But in the
There he goes.
There he goes. So they'll last for a certain amount of time, but what's cool about this is you can actually upgrade that ability. so that they'll last longer in combat.
There's a question about DLC. Concerning DLC, we are currently 100% focused on shipping the main game, so we're not really ready to talk about DLC yet, but the DLC. If the mic is cutting out, I cannot help that. I can move it a little bit. Can you move the mic a little bit towards us, please?
Sure can.
Lagging?
I think it's okay.
Did that help?
Did that? We can turn these. No, we can't. Okay, so he's got a health bar now.
Yeah. Now you can see it slowly will drain over time, and the more damage they take, the faster it will drain. And again, you can upgrade that in your ability tree so that they last way longer. Very good questions.
Can Jessie get different hats, Clay?
Different hats?
Yeah, different hats.
Who's asking this question?
Yes, actually she can.
She can get different outfits.
Yeah, she can get different outfits. I think some of them include hats. If I recall correctly.
I think some of them, at least. I think at least one of them has a hat, as far as I remember.
Yeah, so it's more different outfits than she's not going to get a sombrero.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we have different outfits, and they can include hats, but we don't have individual separate hats.
Yeah, including but not limited to hats.
This is the most important.
Warning: may contain hats.
May contain hats.
May contain hats. Can you discuss how materials and crafting will work in the game? We can talk about a little bit about mods and stuff, but just a tiny little bit. There will be a stream in May where we can go further into this, but once you get somewhere where you're not being shot at, Paul, you can have a look at the menu, because we did pick some stuff up.
Excuse me, sir, again, you dropped this. Please just keep...
I think if you go into the bathroom, they won't follow you.
Oh.
That is the women's bathroom.
Correct, okay.
Yes, or nothing if not polite. They will not follow you into a restroom.
Well, luckily we also pause the game when you bring up the menus. Yeah, do we want to talk about customization a little bit?
A tiny bit, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, here we have the different weapon forms. Again, we have one service weapon, but you can change and customize its different forms. And each one works a little bit differently. And then along with these forms, you can add and customize different mods which change how the weapon behaves.
Yeah.
So for example, this one will increase my ammo regeneration by 40%, which is actually good. This one will increase my weapon damage, and this one will increase my rate of fire. So by combining different combinations of these, we can kind of tune and customize how your weapon forms behave. And there's also character mods, and the character mods change kind of more about how your player behaves. Mm-hmm. So this will increase my health. This one increases my stamina regeneration speed, so I can use my abilities more frequently. And this one increases my essence health restoration. So as I'm picking up the little white...
glowy things? I don't know what they are.
Yeah, little white glowies.
Shapes.
As I damage enemies, they'll drop these little white glowies, and then as I get close, I will pick those up and those will heal me. So it provides this risk-reward system for players. I can do damage to enemies, but I won't heal until I run up and pick up the energy that they've dropped. So it's a nice... Yeah. Keeps you up close and personal with the enemies. I want that. Did that sort of answer the question? I can't remember what the question was.
I think that answered the question. Yeah, the question was...
crafting. I think was the focus.
Crafting, yeah, crafting and mods. That's pretty much what we said.
Yeah, so I guess to answer that a little bit clearer, certain enemies will drop certain types of crafting materials, and you can combine those in different ways to create different items and upgrades. Yeah. So that encourages you to go out into different sectors, because different sectors might have a different enemy type that has a higher chance of dropping the resources. So you really want to get out there and get that too.
So this is the research sector, right? So Clay...
Fact.
True. Fact. True. This is the research sector. Can you give me some more facts about the research sector, Clay?
The research sector was founded in, I don't know actually. That exists in my head somewhere, but I've locked that part away. The research sector, yeah, it's kind of like we said with the, talking about Dr. Darling, the head of research. It's where they really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of examining these kind of strange, otherworldly materials and objects and forces, trying to figure out kind of what makes them tick and also how they can implement them into their bureau. Because, they're not just trying to gather data on these things, they're learning about how they can actually incorporate it into their processes, how to, use it to contain and control otherworldly forces.
Yeah.
Real quick, here's an example of one of the crafting resources right here that I can pick up.
Intrusive pattern.
Oh, can we go downstairs? Can we check this out?
Yes. But I gotta warn you guys, it's gonna get
weird. So when I talk about, they're trying to learn how to use these paranatural objects and forces to contain other similar forces, this is kind of what we're talking about. Later. Active threshold.
What does that mean?
We're in another bathroom.
I love like this level design is impeccable, that the elevator leads straight down into the bathroom. That's what I want in my architect.
I mean, it is a shifting place.
It may not have originally, this is just something that happened. But, so this is a threshold. This is kind of where the oldest house, which is this place that bleeds into other dimensions, this is like one of those...
Please can you break the toilet?
This is one of those spaces where those dimensions leak in and kind of their physical properties and laws bleed in with our own. And you kind of see the result in this like very disgusting, otherworldly, rapidly growing mold that the Bureau has to find ways to contain, because otherwise it will spread and keep spreading. And this is kind of what they're in this oldest house for as well, is to keep these things contained and at bay. Now we have some folks who are quite so lucky down here.
These guys are a little bit tough.
I forgot that they're tougher, and also when I first played this, I didn't know that they were there, so I was like, oh, that's a pretty desk. Can I pick this up and read this? And then I turned around, and there was 5 of them behind me.
And so it's not a safe place to work, obviously. I mean, this used to be a very regular, boring, let's say, HR department, possibly. And now, look what it is like.
It's less boring.
Yeah, the people who were working here, they didn't exactly expect this, did they?
HR.
No, it's the spookiest HR department.
Let me see if I can log into this computer.
Hack the emails. This is what hacking is.
That is what hacking is, yeah.
So Mr. Robot was a clear influence as well, and this is kind of what we took out of that show, was the hacking. Because that's how I think Mr. Robot does it.
I usually hack by throwing the computer up against the wall.
Yeah.
I love how these things just explode open.
Pressurized.
Yeah.
Oh, the lighting is beautiful. Thank you so much. Our lighting department will be very happy to hear that, because they work incredibly hard and they care so much about lighting things well.
They do.
So.
They do a fun.
Yeah, like the kind of scorching on the mold here, where they've tried to burn back the mold to keep it from spreading. You can see the lighting there is just fantastic.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, they've been trying to contain this like the only way they know how, which is honestly just, kind of controlled burns.
Kill it with fire.
It hasn't been working, but they're kind of best option right now.
Yeah, there's some environmental storytelling that I think yours will be behind that helps explain some of this stuff a bit more depth.
There was a question if there is, I think I'm gonna let Clay take this. There's a question if there is a melee version of the service weapon.
Melee version, as in a melee ability? With the service weapon?
I think they mean a sword.
Oh. Not currently, no, but I mean the service weapon has had many forms throughout its its history. So this is just kind of the latest iteration of a object that has gone through many different forms. So who's to say and hold in the past? That was really ambiguous.
Yeah, but like from a like a narrative. Oh, look at it zoom.
There it is.
From a narrative perspective, yes. I mean, this has the Bureau theorizes that this weapon has been found throughout history, like in weapons of great importance in real life and as well as mythology. So Excalibur, the Mjolnir, these kind of weapons that demand worthiness in their person, as well as weapons that kind of can change form depending on what the kind of collective unconscious thinks of when they think of the word weapon at that time. These kind of forces gravitate towards people's opinions and their beliefs, and they're affected by them as well. So, because we live in this modern age where guns are the epitome of a weapon, this is kind of the form it's taken.
Yeah, so it's only from a gameplay point of view, it's only ever going to be a gun in the game. But from a narrative point of view, it has been different things.
It has been different things, and it will be different.
So you'll notice now
beyond Jesse.
You'll notice now my health is recharging at a really good rate of speed. As I take damage, you'll see my health recharging. That's because I've compelled the his cluster.
You've seized it.
Thank you.
You were so close.
And now I can go Super Saiyan since it's now buffing me, so I can go nuts for donuts.
Super Saiyan is a game term as well?
Yeah, Super Saiyan
is an official industry term.
Yeah.
Kind of like no bueno.
Hair is the same way. Gold.
Not yet.
Yeah. One of the outfits.
Oh! I was going to answer this one in the chat, but I think, Clay, you can answer it. Or, I will leave it to you if you want to answer it, or if you want to run out of the room and go, oh, I have to go.
No, next.
Next question.
The question is any of this happening in real life, or is it a simulation, or spoilers?
I almost want to answer this one just because
Yeah, these people have really good questions.
Who are these?
Who's asking this?
So the oldest house is a place
I wouldn't reveal
where
too much.
Things are bizarre and dimensions bleed in, like I said. And there's a lot of theories from the Bureau about kind of how these things are truly coming into our world. And a lot of that does kind of work with some theories about, is it real?
Right.
And, it's just theories. And that's the thing with, again, the Bureau is that none of the theories are necessarily right or wrong. They are, at the end of the day, just theories. These are forces that are very difficult to understand. So you will see people with that point of view, but, you might have a guy right next to him at the next desk over who thinks that person's an idiot. And that all this is very real. And that, if it wasn't real as having imaginations, then it wouldn't be this terrible. This impactful.
So basically your answer is maybe.
I'm saying a very long maybe, yeah.
Okay.
As someone who, plays around with these ideas, I like to hang on it.
I love that the question is it real, is it fake, is it like a dream? And you're like, maybe.
Here's a
maybe
3-paragraph explanation on maybe. Yeah. But I mean, that's what they're trying to figure out too, kind of.
Yeah.
They don't have the answers. Neither do I.
But this is your job, Clay.
Well, my job is to write these people, so if they don't know, then I can't know. That's how writing works, right? It's like method acting.
Yeah.
I become Jesse.
This is a very important question. Also, Paul, can you go upstairs or downstairs? I forget where it is, to the acoustics research lab?
Yes.
I think it's upstairs.
That question is, there are actually 2 in this area.
So, Clay, are there going to be people to interact with in the game?
Yes. I mean, there's plenty of characters. We haven't included them in this space just because we don't want to give away too much of the story in the demo, but we have characters that, provide additional story, as well as a lot of context for this world and what they're trying to accomplish here. So none of this will be left too in the dark. You'll have people helping you kind of figure out things along the way, and they're all very fun and weird people in classic Remedy fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some great characters.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome.
That is a narrative item that doesn't work in the demo. It just does a neat animation. But the Acoustics Research Lab does play music.
It's gonna get real weird.
So the Bureau obviously subjects people to a lot of very strange things. Voluntarily, of course. They sign a liability waiver. But one of those things.
Oh.
Only wrecking everything.
Yeah, accidentally. I feel like it's very purposeful.
So we've named some characters. We've talked about Pope, we've talked about a little bit about Marshall, we've talked about Trench, obviously. Oh, there it is again.
There it is again.